I had an unbelievable day. We'll talk about that later. Sal had an even better day. He pulled the Eagles albatross. He pulled it off the back of his back. He whipped it down. He stomped on it. He pulled it into Big Dom. What a great night. You have a field goal kicker. You're probably the number 2 favorite to win the Super Bowl. I can't say enough good things. And you look like a pig in shit right now.
Thank you. I vowed that Big Dom was not going to be the most obese Italian who had a good Sunday night. And I was right. It was me. It was me after all. A classic beatdown, Simmons. And I promised last week I wouldn't make a big deal out of it if this occurred. And I lied because I like everything about this, honestly, except for the calendar. That's the only thing I don't like that I see. I wish this was January and we could get it going because momentum is such a big deal. But
yeah, I can't even figure out how somebody would shit on this other than to say, I mean, there's going to be a point. It will be made on the talk shows tomorrow. Did this game say more about where the Eagles are than where the Cowboys are? Because their defense was so bad. You know, they give up the 6 touchdowns in a row to the Niners. They come into this game, you go touchdown, field goal, touchdown, first half. And for some reason, Collinsworth was making it seem like the Eagles were going to come back. It was a really weird. I felt like the game was over almost immediately. By the time we were headed toward the second quarter, I was like, they're not going to be able to stop you all game. I think the fall of the Eagles defense over this last 4 weeks has been shocking because we thought at the very least they were going to be able to push constantly. They had the solid secondary. And now it just seems like anybody can move the ball up and down the field on them.
Yes,
so that's my first take.
Unless they're playing possum, unless they're doing exactly what I'm worried about. They're laying back a little and say, all right, we still control our own destiny. We got a cupcake schedule coming up. We're not going to lose to the Giants either of the 2 times or the Cardinals. Seattle's kind of beat up, but I don't think that's what's going on. But yeah, I definitely like what I'm saying here. I mean, I would normally be terrified on that fumble 6, return for a touchdown. But I was like, we still have this in hand. We've punted once since Thanksgiving. This is a great day. That kicker, that Brandon Aubrey, is like effortless kicks. It looks like he's using 60% of his leg. He's like just meeting. I know he's going to miss 3 extra points in the wild card round game in January. He's going to kick it into the cheerleader section, but it really looks like his boot is loaded. Like they might check the Iron Sheik for a loaded boot. It's amazing what's going on.
Yeah, they're bored field goal kicks. He's like, all right, I'll kick another 58-yarder. He's like, I don't want to get hurt. I'll do a couple for your friends. So many good storylines from Dallas being in here. We could start with Dak, who I think is officially in the MVP combo. Although Purdy's it's got to be at least co-favorites. I refuse to put Purdy over Dak or vice versa. Purdy was awesome today. Purdy, he was 6 for 6 on balls, 16 plus yards today. He's turned into. They keep comparing him to Kurt Warner, and there's a reason for it because he looks like 1999 Kurt Warner. I know it isn't the same body, but he's just throwing lasers all over the field. And I don't think Dak's been better than him.
Well, I know, and it's not like Dak doesn't have a great supporting cast, a lot on defense too, but it isn't everyone who likes Purdy now 3 weeks ago is crying for McCaffrey to be MVP, and Deebo Samuel has been phenomenal. I mean, that reboot is crazy. Like every time he touches the ball, it looks like there's no way going to get within 10 yards of him. So I don't know how it could be all these things. Dak is plus 150.
I'm just saying it's
2-1.
Yeah,
really?
I think that's fair. I saw on Twitter Trent Williams, who I had no idea is one of the great orators of our time. He had like a 5-minute response to a question about Brock Purdy after the game today. And in 5 minutes, he won me over completely. He was like so disdainful of people who are like, oh, it's all the weapons. It's not what Purdy's doing. And he just kind of like calmly picked it apart. It was like the best interview I've seen all year. I thought it was great. Did you see it?
It was great. I did. It was the post-game interview. Yeah, it's fine. I didn't like the subject matter. I think he's wrong about it.
Listen, all I'm saying is Dak versus Purdy, I think, is where we are. I think Hurts is falling back. Lamar's kind of lingering, but even today, I know they won. He had the fourth quarter drive, but he wasn't like amazing in that game. And
FanDuel has it Prescott 150, Purdy 200, and then Tua, Lamar, and Hurts at 8-1.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And Tyreek could have 200 yards tomorrow night and whip himself into that. So we have the Dak thing, which you've been through, I would say, a fair amount with Dak over the years. Yeah, I would say it's been a little bit of a roller coaster ride, but he's in right when it feels perfect. Then, of course, he gets strip sacked and they get a pick six. And it's like, just They just had to sprinkle a little dust on it. But for the
I'm at the roller coaster. I'm at the part of the roller coaster ride where I'm not quite ready to vomit, but it's coming up. I know it's in like 3 weeks on the downfall.
So we have that. We have, for the first time, I think since we've done this podcast, where I don't think Dallas has been a top 2 team in the league this late in this season. Like we have the holidays in 2 weeks, and it got me thinking like just what would happen. The Super Bowl's in Vegas. If Dallas could somehow get there, what is Jerry Jones going to be like over these next 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks? Does he do something dumb? Does he embrace it? I don't know. There's just a lot of storylines. Plus, you have the Stephon Gilmore, the amazing resurgence of him. You have Parsons. You have CD Lamb. He's kind of moving into the best receiver conversation a little bit. But there's a lot of fun. And then McCarthy, who was coaching today with no appendix. What a hero.
Right. No appendix. We were worried all his coaching ability was in the appendix. And now that that's gone, we had no idea what to expect today. But listen, honestly, when you say they're a top 2 team, I assume you're putting the 49ers at number 1, but they're still like 25 points better than the Cowboys and the Eagles. So I can't get too excited about the Vegas Super Bowl. They're still in the NFC. So it's tough. The AFC, I have no idea who the best team, but good luck.
Well, one of the great things for you is, let's say somehow you get the NFC East. You'd be the 2 seed unless the Niners, something weird happens, but you'll be playing a soon-to-be awful 7 seed in the NFC, right? If you end up the 5 seed and you're playing the worst division
NFC South,
yeah, that team's going to be terrible too. So you at least know that round 1, you're probably going to be favored by between 8 to 11 points. So I think you're in a nice spot. Warren Sharp, our friend who's on the Friday podcast with House, who helped me out, by the way, with my FanDuel same game parlay. That was 13-1 when I made it, but I hit it 11-1 today.
That was
he
monster.
He was pro James Cook. James Cook was a beast. So thank you, Warren Sharp. But he had a tweet. The Cowboys have scored 17 plus first half points in 7 straight games.
Yeah.
Only one other team in the last 60 years has accomplished that feat, the 2007 Patriots. That's not nothing.
Yeah. They
7
did well,
straight.
Right?
Yeah. We made it to the Super Bowl. We had the lead with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah.
We had 5 Giants had to hold on the helmet catch to prevent us from winning the Super Bowl. But that's fine.
No, it's great. I honestly, you said I've been through a lot with this team, and there were years where we'd go 11 games without scoring a touchdown or a point on the first drive or most of the first quarter.
I don't like your demeanor. I don't like your demeanor right now.
I know.
You're throwing water. You're throwing water on. I know what you're up to. You're trying not to be too excited, but deep down, I know you had 40 texts today where you were having fucking orgasms all over the place.
More than that.
Just admit it. Just admit you're orgasmic right now.
Okay, I'm orgasmic, but we're still going to get a 5 seed. I mean, I don't see any way around it. I don't see it.